안녕하세요, 데이브입니다.
안녕하세요, Haven입니다.
자기소개 부탁드리겠습니다.
Hey guys, I'm Haven and I'm a singer, content creator from Singapore.
요즘에 사람들 해외여행 다시 많이 가는데 싱가포르 정말 핫한 나라인데요. 싱가포르 법 정말 엄격한데 오늘 싱가포르 엄격한 법들에 대해서 알아보겠습니다.
Some of you might find it very surprising that some of the laws in Singapore are a bit suspicious.
첫 번째 법, 껌.
Everyone kind of knows this because it was like the most ridiculous rule that they had, that chewing gum was like banned from Singapore. You can't purchase it, you can't sell it, you can't like export it from overseas.
싱가포르 법들 중에 이거 제일 많이 아는 법인데 I have a question. Are there underground gum dealers? The other guys were like, I could get you 3 packs of spearmint gum.
No, actually what we do is it takes like probably 1 or 2 hours just to go to Johor, which is in Malaysia. As we go and like buy a few gums and then we sneak it back into Singapore. We're like, guys, come, we got gum.
What? No way.
Yeah, and then when I was younger, it was like a big thing. Like when a kid has gum, we're guys, oh my god, we're doing something illegal.
All the bad kids chew gum?
Yeah, it felt like contraband, honestly.
So there are gum smugglers, but there are no
Yes.
gum dealers.
No, you can't sell it. At the end of the day, we don't sell it.
According to this, selling chewing gum can result in fines up to $100,000 or 2 years in prison, so be careful.
Can you imagine like go to jail and like, yo, what you in for? It's so gum.
3. 담배 피는 거.
Smoking in public places are very illegal. So they have this little zone. It's a little like rectangle where people can be there and smoke there. But if you go out of that zone, let's say walking down the street, going home, just taking a cigarette, that's banned.
So you never see people walking around smoking?
Nah.
I actually kind of like that,
Yeah.
to be honest. 길거리에서 사람 담배 피는 거 별로 안 좋아해가지고 그거 좀 좋은 것 같아.
And even like e-cigarettes is banned. I have instances where my friends actually got caught with e-cigarettes and they get like fined or they get it confiscated. So they'll throw it away.
변기물 내리는 거.
Have you seen like when you go into a random stall and it's just nasty because someone didn't flush? Well, that is banned in Singapore. So if you don't like that, that's great. Come to Singapore. You get banned and you can be fined up to $150 for just not flushing a toilet. And there are signs everywhere in the toilet that says, please make sure to flush the toilet.
변기물 안 내리시는 분들 15만 원 내야 됩니다.
Punishment $150 to $1,000.
아 이거 좀 말도 안 된다고 생각합니다. 다른 사람 와이파이에 연결하는 거.
Let's say you kind of broke that month. You can pay for Wi-Fi and you're like, maybe I should, just borrow my neighbors. No! Banned in Singapore.
다른 사람 와이파이 쓰는 거 불법이에요.
Because some people do actually hack into, let's say your neighbors, like their neighbors' Wi-Fi and just take it so they don't have to pay for Wi-Fi. So yeah, that's a massive illegal, go to jail, like.
That's so crazy. 'Cause people do that everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
That's like a common meme, like using somebody else's Wi-Fi. 다른 사람 와이파이 쓰는 거. Punishment $10,000 or up to 3 years in prison.
3 years in prison!
침 뱉는 거.
Grandpa, like when they go to the store, like to just spit by the sidewalk. That's banned too in Singapore!
I like that though. I hate people who spit.
The first time, if they catch you like spitting, you get like $1,000 worth of a fine. The second time, they give you a $2,000 fine. So it keeps going up. It's like Monopoly.
What about the third time?
$5,000. If you guys were wondering why Singapore has such a clean image and such a beautiful environment, it's because of all these laws that are enforced.
몇 개 빼고는 말이 된다고 생각해. I hate spitting. I don't like smoking in public. I don't like littering.
And you like flushing toilets.
I like flushing toilets, so I'm good with
You're
that.
good with that?
다음 거 넘어가기 전에 caning-이라는 처벌 설명하겠습니다.
But there's an officer with like a very thick wooden cane that just... You can imagine how our Asian parents used to hit us with a cane. This is just the more intense version in jail.
It's like an official law enforcement provided
Yeah.
punishment.
I don't know if it's true or not. This is just what I've heard. They do bring you to a room. You bend over 90 degrees, show your, juicy ass, and then just...
With a cane.
Yeah, and then depending on how severe your punishment is, they can say like, oh, you have 2 canings, or like you can have 5 canings, or up to 20 canings. So that's how many strokes you'll get. And each hit, it's really painful.
Wow.
It's intense.
So that brings us to 7, graffiti or any kind of vandalism.
Actually, if you go down the streets of Singapore, you won't actually see a lot of graffiti unless it is licensed to be. So only specific licensed graffiti artists can graffiti the walls of, let's say, a building that they're hired to do. And if they're not hired and you have no license, that's straight up vandalism, and that can get you really serious trouble in prison.
Punishment is caning.
Vandalism is one of the huge things in Singapore. So let's say you go on a bus or like subways, you will see a lot of like drawings that no, that's absolutely not allowed in Singapore.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Keep the city clean.
The city
And
clean.
if you can't follow the rules, take your money, cane you, throw you in prison,
Oh my
whatever it
gosh.
takes.
Whatever it takes, man.
Okay,
Whatever
I like
it
it.
takes. That's so serious.
I abide by the law, and if you can't follow the laws, you need to get caned.
Yeah, you get.
I wish they caned more. I wish they caned in Korea for trolling in video games.
What?
롤에서 시비 거는 사람들 caning 벌 받아야 된다고 생각해.
Cyberbully.
Cyberbullying is get caned. I support caning.
Don't put that on camera. Wait, but actually, talking about cyberbullying, I think there are
Laws.
canings.
Good.
I think, can I ask who said mean things to you?
Many people.
What if they're like 12?
They need to get caned.
No.
I got caned when I was 12 by my grandpa.
I feel like that's like a king.
I really do support caning. 8. 비둘기 먹이는 거.
So I personally not a huge fan of pigeons because one pigeon pooped on my hair once when I was a kid. But never ever feed pigeons because normally I know people like to go for a walk in the park, and if you do come to Singapore, there's gardens by the bay, you know, botanic gardens where you like to take a stroll and have a picnic. Pigeons will come up to you and you will have delicious food. Do not feed them because the punishment is
$500.
See, you could get that $500, go get yourself a nice meal in Singapore instead of feeding pigeons.
마약, drugs.
Don't even think about it. I truly wish I was kidding, but you do get the death penalties for bringing in drugs from overseas. Drug is one of the most severe cases of punishments that you can get in Singapore. Now Thailand has finally legalized weed in their country. Singapore has reinstated that you can't go like to Thailand, smoke up, and then come back after a weekend because then they'll test your blood, and if they find traces of weed, you go to jail.
Korea too. It's illegal for a Korean citizen to go to another country, do drugs, and come back. If they get tested and it's positive, they go to jail too. Same thing in Korea.
So
Korea's
just
very
don't
strict.
do drugs, kids.
Penalty up to 10 years prison, $20,000, and even death.
Just big no-nos.
Last one.
Walking naked in your own house. I know, bizarre as it seems. Sometimes we shower, we come off fresh, you know, just trying to cool ourselves down, having hot summer days. That is illegal, and people can actually call the police on you if they see you, you know, inappropriately walking around the house just naked. And I know it's in your own home. You think like public nudity, yeah, definitely illegal. But even indoors,
You should close your window.
yeah, just close your window. Don't show people the treasures
They should
yourself.
cane these people.
Stop it! Stop the caning!
Close your curtains if you're taking your clothes off, and the punishment can be $2,000 or up to 3 months in prison.
Can you imagine?
네 여러분, 흥미로웠나요? Today we looked into some strict laws in Singapore, but a lot of these aren't enforced, right?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, we're not crazy, we're not too aggressive. They're just warnings so that people won't do it. So just make sure to stay clear of all those rules, you'll be okay. And even if let's say you do accidentally not flush your toilet by accident, just remember to go back and flush it.
들으셨죠? 막상 가보면 그렇게 심하지 않아요. 실수로 뭐 이것저것 할 수도 있는데 가서 조심하는 게 나을 수도 있습니다. 네 여러분, 데이브
Haven.
였습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.